Jon Moxley, what is happening, man? Where are you right now?
I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, currently. Wrestling for AEW, doing some tapings down here, and seems like everything's going on in Jacksonville. It's the place to be right now for sports. So I just brought my dogs and my wife out here and got a little Airbnb set up, and we're just going to stay out here rather than fly back and forth. And so just kind of kicking it.
Yeah, man, the world's different. Like you're spending time going back and forth to Japan. I guess none of that's happening for a while.
No, I don't even know when I could. I've been over there quite a bit over the past year. I was there as recently as February before all this really started to pop off. That seems like a lifetime ago now. I can't imagine when I'd be able to get back there.
Yeah, it's freaky, man. I was talking to Chuck Liddell, and he only had good things to say about you. I was hoping that you guys could have some beef, but Chuck likes you. You admire Chuck, I think, right?
Oh, thank goodness, yeah. Yeah, dude, what a cool dude. Like, especially to be on a movie set, you get a lot of downtime, obviously, in between shots and setting up shots and so forth. So it's cool to have cool people to kind of shoot the breeze with. And, like, what cooler of a person could you have on set to shoot the breeze with than Chuck Liddell? So cool and chill and has so many just great stories. And to me, like, that's like Mickey Mantle being there.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I have so many questions I could ask him like a little kid. And luckily, he's so forthcoming with telling awesome stories. I got so many good stories and so much cool entertainment value from being able to shoot the breeze with Chuck.
Yeah, it's almost unfair, like, to be the toughest man in the world and also cool. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, well, I find that the toughest dudes in the world are usually pretty chill because they got nothing to prove. You know, the dudes who have something to prove are usually like the jerks, right?
What did you think when you saw this movie and the idea of it started, floating around and stuff? Were you into it right away?
Yeah, so it was brought to me. I had recently become a free agent, and a guy named Jay Riso, Christian to wrestling fans, was working as the executive producer on the movie, and they were looking for an actual pro wrestler to play the pro wrestler in the movie, and I just kind of become available and have a little bit of name value. I was in WWE for quite a few years, and he sent me the script, and I read it, and was like, yeah, I think I can play that for sure, and it sounded like a lot of fun. That's the cool thing about movies is when those opportunities come by, like if you get a chance to play cowboy in a movie, that means you get to go learn how to ride a horse. Or if you play a cop in a movie, you get to like shoot bad guys and shoot guns and stuff. So like, I was like, well, this is kind of all my interests all kind of rolled into one. Something I think I could play, and it seems like it'd be really fun. So I was into it from the get-go.
And was it really fun?
Oh, super fun, yeah. A lot of preparation. And a lot of hard physical work. The fight scenes we did over 3 days in Canada. Big, cold, empty soundstage. And we didn't have any stunt guys. It was me and Alex Montanaghi. I always mess up his last name. Alex, who plays the hero in the movie. It was me and him were our own stunt guys. So we put together the fight with the director and fight coordinator over a few days in the gym and did it all over a few days. So all the suplexes and slams and punches and kicks and everything, we all were doing that ourselves. So it's pretty challenging to keep your energy level up and your intensity up over like a 10, 12-hour period because you do a minute. Sometimes we do the whole fight from a wide shot all in one go. And then just do a little snippet of it and then flip the camera. So it's like you got your adrenaline pumping, your intensity's up, you're warmed up, and it's like cut. Then you got to stand around for a half hour, then reset the cameras, and then try to get your intensity back up again. It's pretty challenging. And Alex actually tore his groin on the second to last day. Really bad. I guess it was a previous injury. And but I think he just took a step or something wrong. It just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's such a freak accident, but we didn't have any doubles or anything, so he couldn't walk across the cage. So we had to kind of reverse engineer kind of the climactic scene of the movie, and really all put our minds together with the camera guy and the fight coordinator and director, me and Alex, and figure out a way to really have a cool climactic finish there with what he could do physically. So it was a lot of hard work. And that was kind of the cool creative melting pot that we had. Alex is obviously breaking into acting. This is like one of his first big opportunities, but he's a legitimate professional fighter in BAMA and other organizations.
Yeah.
So with that, his like real legitimate knowledge, and then me coming from a pro wrestling world, my forte is like telling stories and creating drama and so forth. So you get all those kind of different minds together, and camera guys and all that, and it was really fun to kind of take all our kind of talents and specific knowledges and create these fight scenes.
Yeah, that's when it's getting cool. I mean, that's the thing. I'm sure you were asked a lot of weird questions about this, but about this film and about the process. But ultimately, you know, as an athlete, you're also an artist. You're a storyteller. You're trying to create drama and surprise and all of these things. That must have been really fun. And to kind of make it a soup by combining your guys' skills into a stew or a soup. That does sound cool.
Yeah, exactly. It was a pretty fun experience, and they had me look at kind of I was going to wait until May 16th when it came out to watch the premiere with everybody else. They had me look at a kind of 90% done cut of the movie, and I was like, really like, whoa, that was pretty entertaining. Like, it was pretty cool. Like, and a lot of the stuff came off like really cool when you see the finished product. I was pretty excited for people to see it this weekend.
I'm friends with Jake Hager. You work with him at AEW. Is he? Have you talked to him about this, combining wrestling and fighting? Have you had any conversations with him about it?
Yeah, definitely. He's done a lot of that with his style and character. You know, he used the head and arm choke he won his 2 fights with. He's using that now as like his finish in AEW, which makes it like the most legit finish in the company because, you know, you see him do it for real on Bellator. And his kind of style and presentation is unique. He's the only one of him we have in the company, so that's pretty cool to see. And I remember I was actually riding in the car with him. We were in WWE at the same time, and I remember we were frequent riding partners, and it was coming toward the end of his contract, and he was kind of making a decision about what he wanted to do in his future, and he was like, yeah, my friend, and he's obviously an NCAA All-American wrestler, and he's like, yeah, I mean, my friend manages fighters. He's like really kind of pushing me to try out this MMA and was thinking about it, and I was like, dude, that would be awesome. You should. So then, like, a couple years later, fast forward to, like, watching him on TV in Bellator, choking the brother out, I was like, I couldn't have been more happy for him. And now he's successfully doing both at the same time, which is very challenging to balance. So,
it's super.
Definitely awesome for him.
So, and I'm sure you've been asked this by everybody who talked to you about this whole process. Would you fight? Would that be something that you would want to do, to go in and do and fully train and have a guy in his underpants ready to punch you in the face on camera?
Probably not. I can't really see that. You know, in theory, maybe if I was younger, you know, but like with everything I got on my plate, I get beat up enough doing what I'm doing. I can't see how that would really make. I can't see how that really makes sense for anybody. But it was really awesome to like I had a good amount of experience. Like I wrestled my whole life until I started pro wrestling. I've done a lot of jiu-jitsu and grappling over the years. So really, and they wanted these fights to look really realistic. So I had like a solid base of skills and trained fairly regularly and a lot of stuff. But to really put it all together, especially a lot of the learning, a lot of the stand-up and stuff. I had like minimal experience in boxing and stuff like that. So learning all the kickboxing and all that stuff was really a cool challenge over a few months to really get into that, to make sure I didn't go out there and embarrass myself and look foolish, you know. But the cool part of the in the story is like my character's like a lot is really rough around the edges, not very good, not as much technique, just a roughhouse brawler type guy. So like if a technique is like not perfectly on point, it actually makes sense. But Alex is the opposite. So it's pretty cool how it all came together for the story.
Yeah, yeah, it's very, very cool. That's one of the things when I kind of started getting exposed to it and meeting the people in this film. I was like, shit, this looks real. Like a lot, and I analyze fighting in its minutia, and a lot of it really, you guys were able to put together really realistic looking fight sequences, and I think part of that is what you talked about, blending, full martial arts experience with the physicality and storytelling that you bring to it, and the whole thing kind of came together.
Yeah, and it's kind of all my interests kind of rolled into one, like training and storytelling and fight choreography and stuff like that. And it's kind of not like the way you break down a fight, for instance, or the way you would maybe preview a fight, for what you do, thinking about how the story is going to unfold. It's kind of how you do it in wrestling when you're imagining the picture in your head and the story. There's so many, there's so many different options. And like, say for instance, you had like a big guy versus a small guy. So, all right, so the small guy first is going to try to outquick him and duck and dodge or whatever. Then maybe he starts throwing some leg kicks, starts weakening the big guy's leg or whatever. Then finally the big guy takes over, puts a beating on the little guy. And then later on, the little guy gets a leg lock of some sort, a submission on the weakened leg that he put the time in earlier. Yeah. So it's like, you kind of, when you're like breaking down a fight and you're going like, see, here's where it starts to go south. Like that's how you put pro wrestling matches together, is you kind of envision the whole story and the ups and downs and stuff like that. And that's kind of how the fight choreography is too. It's just instead of doing it all in one take on live TV and perhaps adjusting on the fly and so forth. But I like to go out there with a loose plan, kind of a skeleton of what I want to do. Sketch. Yeah, and then kind of fill in the blanks as I go, because you never know what's going to work or what's going to just happen on the fly or what the crowd's going to react to on the fly. And that's kind of an art in itself, And in a movie, it's like putting the whole thing together over a long period of time and every single detail and every single camera angle. And there's a whole another art, editing it and putting it together and everything too. We're doing everything, like once Alex got hurt, we're doing everything from like sticking GoPros in there and getting like POVs and stuff, that anything we could do to with kind of the challenge we had with that injury. And it's a credit to the guys who cranked that out a lot fast. Like it won't be out in the US till the fall, but they cranked it out and got it all ready to go like pretty quickly because of the situation we're in. People can't go to the movies right now. They can't go to a live sporting event. And the promotion we got with Fight TV, we're kind of making it like the premiere is kind of like an event. Like you can kind of have a night out, having a night in, kind of make it appointment viewing, give people something to look forward to, and treating it as kind of half sporting event, half movie premiere. And obviously the MMA stars we have in the movie will bring in a lot of MMA fans, and then pro wrestling stars we have in the movie bring a lot of pro wrestling fans. And so it's kind of a cool thing for everybody. I think people are really going to enjoy it, like, and just have some fun with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be cool. When people ask you about Chuck Liddell, what's your definitive Chuck Liddell story that you tell them? Do you have one yet?
Oh, man, he's just like the chillest dude in the room, man. Just like, he's the dude everybody gravitates towards. If he sits down there at the hotel bar, he's not going to have to search for anybody to hang out. Like, everybody's going to circle around him and just hope he starts telling some cool stories, and he always does. So,
I once was in a private room that somebody had put together for big fight fans, and just a weird coincidence, Chuck Liddell was in town in Toronto, and the people said, "Hey, is it cool if we take Chuck into that room?" And I'm like, "I bet it'll be cool." So I go into these fight fans. I said, "Look, hey guys, we've got a special guest. He's in town. He wants to watch fights. So be cool when he comes in. Let him sit and chill and have a beer or whatever before you come up and say hi and get a photo." And they're all, theorizing who it might be, Canadian fighters that they know. And in walks Chuck Liddell, and everybody's jaw at peak Chuck Liddell too. Their jaw drops, their eyes bug out, they're silent. Like people they might as well have seen Mickey Mouse or Superman. Chuck can really blow people's minds. He's a wonderful dude too.
Yeah, and he's iconic, with the mohawk and the tattoos and everything. Like he's like John Wayne, He did he did show me the secret to like his overhand punch. Where he was showing it to me, and he truly wings it over his head like a baseball, like
That's
straight over the top of his head like that. It was really kind of impressive to see that.
And it's loose. It's loose like whipping a towel.
Yeah, like literally just like whipping the towel over your head. I thought that was really cool because I was like, oh, I've seen you knock people out with that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And he does a really good job in the movie. Really, he took a lot of inspiration, I think, from John Hackleman, who was his trainer, and brought that into this. And I think everybody really did a really good job.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for people to see it on Saturday night. Anything else you want to add? Anything you want to tell people about this movie?
Just that it's it's a ultimately whether it's pro wrestling or movies or fighting or anything that's involved with this, I think why we love it is the stories and the ride and the journey. And this is like ultimately what it's about. It's not about fighting or wrestling or anything. It's about one guy who's not, the good guy in the movie is not fighting the bad guy. He's fighting himself, his own internal demons and insecurities and struggles. And it's basically about, and it's apropos for the time because a lot of people right now, their businesses have been affected and they're, they may have lost their jobs, been laid off. They're going to be in a financial hole. And over the next year or two, people might have, their lives will be different and they'll have holes they have to dig themselves out of. In this situation, this guy, the nightmare scenario happened to him that he could have never imagined. And he's got to dig and claw and dust himself off and scratch and claw all the way back up to the top. And that's a really good message to send for people right now, I think.
Man, I'm sold. I'm watching it on Saturday. Man, Moxley, you are a good dude and you're a smart dude. I've enjoyed this immensely. Thank you.
Oh, totally, man. It's my pleasure.
I will see you again and enjoy the hostilities, my friend.
Live from London, England! Are you ready for a new legend?